Whew, they are some good smokers. Hey everybody, welcome back to All Things Jeff. Today we start the expansion of the 4' by 8' layout. All right, so let me start by giving you an idea of what's in my head. The green tape on the floor is going to represent the bottom level. So this 4' by 8' platform, this corner right here, will move out to this where my foot is. So that gives me about a 12 to 14 inch gap in the back. I haven't measured it exactly yet. It also gives me a 13 inch gap down here on this end, which will allow me to get up under there, under the top platform for wiring. That's all I need is about that. So then we'll have to fill in this end, which will be about 2 feet, not a big deal. And then we're going to add a platform coming out this way with a small angle on it. Now the angle is just because I wanted to do something different. I kept it short of this little bump out, again, because I need to be able to reach up and wire. And this top platform is 48 inches. So I can't reach 48 inches, but I can reach about 30 to 36. All right, that's the bottom, 30 inches high. The top platform, I decided to go 12 inches higher from finished surface to finished surface. So this platform down here is going to be 3 feet from me to the wall and 5 feet to the back. That allows me to run a 31 inch track, which is what I like, to do a loop. On this end, I'm going to go 44 inches from the wall out to me, and then 48 inches from the bump out over to about here. Now, I decided to put a small angle on the bottom so I can bring a train along this green tape, turn, and it goes straight into the tunnel. It also opens up sight lines for when you're looking towards the back. If this stuck out 4 feet, it would just be awkward. And I might change all this. Don't hold me to it. Okay, to connect the two top platforms, I'm going to go back here. We're going to have an angled platform. I don't know what shape. I think I'm probably going to come straight off about 6 or 8 inches, do an angle. This will probably be 30 or 36 inches each way. So that will leave me a gap where I'm standing and a gap from here to the other platform. So I can do two things there. I can either build a mountain or a bridge. So I've decided to do a scratch-built trestle bridge. I've done one in the past. They're really easy, and I'll leave all the instructions in the comments. I've also decided I'm going to do an arched bridge made out of plastic wood. Again, I've done one of those, but I'll show you how to make them. They're simple. All right, so I think that about covers it. The lower level is going to be Lionel because I already have it and I'm cheap. The mid-level is going to be MTH Track because I need trestles and I already own the trestles because I'm cheap. And the top is going to be Menards because I want to try it out so that I can tell you guys if it's any good. I think that's about it. It's time to start demo, so let's get to it. All right, here we go. My favorite tool. I moved you a little closer so I have to duck down. Tack puller, real simple. We're gonna take the red skirt off first. Label, label, label. Label, label, label. All right, that quick. Trains are off, skirts off. I'm going to go underneath and unplug my buildings. Oh, I'm not sure if you can see it, but I left a stain on the green paper where I put lubrication on this belt. We still might be able to save it. Okay, billings are off. There's a little wiring underneath I have to get to, but first I'm going to get the trees and the bushes. I am so disappointed with these trees. I just, Woodland Scenics, they're junk. These are anyway. Are they old? I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you know. All right, and that quick, they're gone. All right, let's get the telephone poles, cars, and the people. That's it for the lights. I still have to go underneath and unhook them. But first, let's take the track off. This whole demolition, 2 tools. A tack puller and a nice little drill. I really do like how easy this Lionel Track goes together. I did start to have a problem with it when I made the intro video. It was sparking at that end. I'm not sure if that's because I didn't have it screwed down really good and it was starting to separate a little bit, but we're gonna find out long term. All right, I did end up powering this track with an old-fashioned transformer. What I did, I just soldered 2 wires to the bottom. It seemed to work, but again, long term, we'll see. I do like the plug-in, but I would have to cut the transformer, the power source, off of the other end to hook it to my old-fashioned transformer, my American Flyer transformer. I didn't want to do that. I want the option to go back. All right, let's continue. I really do like this track. I've always liked it. It's so easy to take apart. It's just bend it upwards. Simple. And there we are. The only thing left to do is take off the lights, and then I'm going to attempt to remove the tape. It's been on there for a while. I want to save this green paper if I can because it's expensive. Let's see if it'll come up. I saved it. I think we can reuse this paper. That's excellent. All right, I'm going to go underneath and cut the wires, and then we can pop the lights out from the top. And there's another reason I like 30-inch platforms. For me, it's perfect for my arms. I can reach up and work. Ooh. And there you have it, all unwired. The only thing left to do now is remove the transformers, which they're all disconnected. And I've decided I'm going to take this grass off. I'm still thinking about it. I think I'm going to use it on the upper platforms because it has holes in it and you won't see it as much up there. And I already bought grass. I've decided to use, it's 50 by 100 inch medium green made by JTT. I got this at Hobby Lobby, $18. I think I paid $30 for this one. That's crazy. That's way too much. So I found this much cheaper at Hobby Lobby. Not sponsored yet. All right, let's take the grass off. Again, we go back to the tack puller. Not a terrible amount of trash. I could probably save a little bit of that. Should have went a little slower, huh? We'll get that another time. Officially 21 minutes start to finish to get this out. Now I have a big mess. I have things spread around, but I'll organize that. It'll probably take me 10 more minutes to put it away until this is ready for buildings again. So let's slide the platform up to its new location. All right. I couldn't stand looking at that mess. I had to put some stuff away. So it's organized. It took like 14 minutes or something like that. I think we're up to about 35 minutes to get to this point. So now it's time to move this platform. So that's where it's going to sit. I'm going to verify that I can squeeze up between that wall and also get a measurement back here, just over 13 inches. Over here we are 12, so I'm going to squeeze up in there. Let me swing you around so you can watch this show. All right, here we go. So if I'm under here, I can reach up just past these holes, if you can see this sawdust. So let's measure that and see where that is. I can also, well, the height would affect me, but I might be able to get that far, this little black mark. So sitting flat on my hiney, that's 28, 29 inches. And this black mark is 36. And if you remember, the platform I'm putting up on this end is just 36 inches. That means by keeping this one off the wall about 16 inches, that'll make that about 32 inches. So I think we're going to be good on both sides. We just have to fill in or figure out how to bridge all that. I'm going to show you. And that end is 26.5 inches is probably what will make it. All right, let's go out to the garage and start building some platforms. Okay, we're back out in the garage. I have the doors open so you may hear some birds. It's hot today too. Okay, I did a quick drawing so you can understand exactly what I'm building out here. This is, if you're looking down from the ceiling, this is the existing 4x8 layout. We have to add on this piece over here, which is 25 inches by 48 inches. That'll fill the width of the room. This piece down here goes where the little bump out is. It will be 24 inches by 44 inches. And then I'm going to add this little triangle piece, which is 12 by 12. Now I could incorporate this 12 by 12 into this whole piece, but I want to show you how to anchor just a piece that's hanging out in the middle of nowhere. I have these on the main layout that are as long as 36 by 36 inches with no legs. So it's not hard to do. As for legs, I'm going to need 2 legs here on this bottom platform and 2 legs back here. Since we already have legs on these corners, I can just screw these 2 together and don't need legs. All right, as you can see, we have some lumber back here. It's all 1/2 inch plywood, 15-30 seconds I think is what it's called. BC, that's what I like to use. 2x4s, you can use 2x3s. As for tools, just have a straight edge, just a basic old level, nothing fancy. We have circular saw, tape measure, pencil, some squeeze clamps, and a drill. I'm using an impact. I like the impact. You can use a regular drill, doesn't matter. I also have my big sliding saw. Again, you do not need a giant sliding saw. You can do it with a circular saw or a hand saw if that's all you have. All right, I think it's time to start building. Let's get to it. All right, this is my finished side. Finished side always goes down when you're cutting with a circular saw. When cutting with a circular saw, I don't know how to show you this. From the blade to the edge is 1.25 inches. So I measured 25 plus 1.25 inches, so 26.25. Then if I put my saw blade, my edge along the straight edge, I get my exact 25-inch wide piece. Don't forget safety glasses. Oh. Always look down the length of your lumber to make sure it's not too crooked. All right, now I've got my 2x4 clamped in place, flush with the end, flush with the side. I just used a piece of scrap lumber and held it there to get an idea, is it going to be right? I'll put this side on, then I'll put this side on. Then I will measure between the two and cut my pieces for the ends. I always like to measure after I attach. For some reason, they never end up right if I do it ahead of time. I'm going to put 5 screws, one in the middle, one on each end, about 2 or 3 inches in so you don't split the 2x4, and then just in between those. The screws I'm going to use are 1 5/8" drywall screws with a Phillips head. Basic stuff. All right, and that quick, woo, it's a little hot. I might have to do this tomorrow. And that quick, your 4 2x4s are attached to the plywood. Now we need to attach the corners. I use 3-inch drywall screws, 2 of them evenly placed on the corner. I pre-drill this 2x4 so it doesn't split. So let's get to that. Sometimes this board right here, once it's screwed on, it may be twisted a little bit because of a number of reasons. Maybe the edge isn't quite square that you screwed to the plywood. So these two won't line up. See, this one's sticking out here on the bottom. So what I do, you can just make a little piece of plywood with a notch in it, saddle it, and it'll twist that 2x4 just a little bit. It helps to have a second person to hold this while you're screwing the plywood, or screwing the screw in. But we'll figure it out. And there you go. And that platform is done. The only thing left to do is make legs, and then we have to make the other platform and the triangle. I'm going to show you the legs now, and then we'll get to the other platform and just blow through that one. All right, I'm going to try to explain this the best I can. I make my legs in an L shape. So I need to run a screw through this one into this one. My legs are 30 inches long. So what I do, I screw the entire 2x4 to another 2x4, then I make my cuts. But I like to pre-drill first. So that's what these dots are. So my first dot is 4 inches in. And the reason for 4 is when I'm all done screwing it together, I make my first cut right here at 31 inches, and then I cut off this end at exactly 30, so I have a nice straight leg. So I have all of my screw holes laid out so they're all the same, and it just makes life easy. All right, I'm gonna screw these together and cut them on the big saw, and then we'll attach them to the platform. Nice long leg, evenly placed screws. Let's cut it. All right, so that gives me my 31 inches with a 3-inch reveal for the screw. And now I'll measure back 30, cut it, and that'll give me a 3-inch reveal on this end. And there you have it, perfect leg. Only measure one leg at a time. Measure and cut, because the thickness of the saw will make your next measurement incorrect if you measure multiple times. All right. I had to take a short break, let the sun go down a little bit. It was brutal. It's like 95 or 98. I know that's not hot for some of you. All right, it's time to put legs on. Now, if you remember, on the 4x8, the platform I just built is this 25 by 48. I only need legs on this back corner, 2 corners, and then we screw attach here, because there's already legs on that corner. Then we'll go and make these other platforms in fast time, go to bloop that Corey does. So for these legs, I've already measured where I want them to drill the hole. But basically, I have a hole on this side coming through right about in the center, and a hole on this side right in the center. Now, the 2 holes are about a 1/2 inch difference from the top, so that when my bolts go through and I'm trying to tighten them up, this doesn't hit the other bolt if it's sticking too far through. Now, I have some bolts that are longer, some bolts that are shorter. But generally, I use these 1/4 inch, 1/4 by 20s by 3.5 inch long. Pretty simple. It's got a Phillips head on it. And then I tighten them up with this tool that you've seen 100 times. All right, so I've already marked out where I'm going to drill. It's real simple. We just take our leg, put it in place. I like to clamp it. Okay. 1/4 inch drill bit. not long enough. Is that shaking a lot? All right, then a simple fender washer. I just like fender washers. They're big. I like. And that quick, another platform is done. Label. What number were we on last time? There was 6 legs, so it was V6. So this is V7. V7. And V7. All right. I'm done talking. I'm just going to build, and then we'll go back downstairs and start assembling. Here we go. All right, in real time, that took 22 minutes. Now the plywood was already cut to size, so add another 3 to 5 minutes for that. This isn't complicated and it doesn't take a long time. I was rushing a little bit just to speed the process, but enjoy it, have fun. It's easy, it's just trains. All right, let's make the triangle piece and head downstairs. Okay, got my triangle piece done. I ended up making it 12.5. I don't know why. I don't know if you noticed a couple screw ups I made. Were you paying attention? When I first measured these 2 pieces, I cut them the same length. Forgot to take off the 1.5 inches for the short one. The second thing, this 2x4 was really pushing out. It was just, it's twisted. Or it's crooked on the other side, I don't know. So I had to clamp it, and you can't clamp on a diagonal piece. So I put that screw in there, and that gives you somewhere for the clamp to push against so it doesn't slide off. Really simple. All right, use your brain, that's what it's up there for. And it's just trains. Figure it out, doesn't have to be perfect. All right, let's start moving things downstairs and assembling in the air conditioning. Everything is moved down. 2 platforms are generally in place. Here's the triangle. We are going to use clamps to hold them together. Now, you can use a regular old squeeze clamp like this, or I prefer these woodworking clamps where they screw from each side. When they clamp tight. So we're going to start with this platform down here on the end. We're going to clamp this end. We're going to make sure it's level on the top and the front. Clamp it in place, put a screw in, and work our way across. You can clamp it in 2 or 3 spots, but you want to make sure as you work across that it stays as level as possible. All right, here we go. And there you have it. The bottom level is done for the most part. All right, you saw how I just built this little piece, screwed it in from the back. I have these on the main layout that go 36 inches each direction. I use a few more screws, but they're plenty strong enough for a temporary layout. All right, I'm going to pull up this tape off the floor. Then we're going to put on some green paper. Let's get to it. One of my favorite times, grass paper. I think I showed you this a little earlier. It's made by JTT. I did get it at Hobby Lobby, $17.99. I've seen this stuff as high as $35. I just saw it at a hobby shop 2 days ago. So let's get this opened up, tack it down. And that quick, the grass is done. Now I didn't put any grass over on this end because that platform sticks out about 3 feet, so I don't need to do all of it. Same thing in that back corner, and even over here, I probably didn't need to put it, but I wasn't exactly sure what that top platform is going to look like yet. I forgot to mention this hammer. Many of you have seen this already. It's magnetic. All right, so you just tack it in and then turn around and use this end to nail it in. Grass is pretty dirty. I have a little bubbles to stretch out and make it perfect, but that's a good start. I suggest you roll it out a day or two ahead of time and weight it down and let it lay level before you wrestle it. I'm just impatient. All right, next step is track, but I think I'm done for today. That was a long day. I think we're in about 6.5 hours. I have to check the clock, but it's about 6.5 hours to get to this point, to tear it down and to rebuild it. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.